Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You are now tuning in to the Snap Call Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Snap Call. I'm Xavier.
I'm Ice.
Hector.
And we got a familiar face joining us again. We got Renee from the Side Bet Podcast. Thank you for joining us, Renee.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on.
Awesome. So we did something similar to what we did last year, or we're planning to do something we did last year. We're running back our WSOP Fantasy Draft. Our goal is to grow this year over year. It's just a little friendly, fantasy football style draft that we do amongst friends. And this year Renee's joined us, so we've added to the to the fun. I want to provide a quick breakdown of what we plan to do with this draft and who's eligible. So if you are on WSOP's website, Poker Go, you name it, you have to be familiar with the 25kfantasy.com. It's basically Daniel Negreanu's league that they've had for 10 plus years now, where they take a fantasy football approach to the WSOP, and they have a scoring rubric that they stand by. They go through a draft. They do auction. We're going to be doing snake today. And they essentially play for, very large sums of money. Something we won't be doing today. But we're going to keep it a nice, friendly wager where we're going to be drafting our teams based off of whatever logic we have behind it. We're going to go through the draft. We'll do a quick recap of our teams. And then we'll ask some questions to each other because, I know there's going to be some pretty suspect picks or some surprising picks. In the past, we've done, you need to have a social media or a content creator on your team or a female on your team. This year, we're going to be using the pool that the 25K Fantasy uses as well as their scoring. So we're going to draft directly from their pool with no limitations. Again, we're just going to be doing the snake draft. So to make it fair, Ice is going to be doing the draft order. He's going to be pulling names out of a T-Rex head, it looks like. So Ice, I'll give it to you. We're going to be doing the top 4 picks, and then we'll get rolling.
All right, question. You want to do the first one drawn as pick number 4?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go backwards like the NBA lottery.
Okay. Names are here. I'm going to shake it up. Let's see. So the 4th pick this year's draft, we have Xavier.
Of course, yeah. I knew it. Told you. I knew it. I knew it. All right. You know what? That's a good thing. I get to go back to back. I'm okay with it.
That's not a bad thing, yeah.
Yep. As you're doing that, let me update the spreadsheet. So with the order.
With the 3rd pick, it's going to be Renee.
Oh,
okay.
Of course, Ice is going to end up with the first pick.
For the 2nd pick in this year's draft, you got Hector.
Such BS.
Oh,
no, you blocked the camera on that last pick.
Yep.
I saw that.
Yep.
For the 1st pick, it's myself, Ice.
Of course. All right.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like the 1st pick, but
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like thinking about it, it's like we know who we want, but we always go into a fantasy football draft with like a strategy in terms of where you're placed. I didn't have no strategy going forth, but these tournaments are so deep, man. Who knows? But
yeah.
All right, it's everybody ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's roll.
Let's rock and roll.
All right, Ice, you are on the clock. 30 seconds. Who are you picking with the number 1 pick?
So the 1st pick, I'm going with the dinosaur himself, Daniel Negreanu.
Oh, Daniel Negreanu, straight to my heart, man. And I almost wore my Limpin' is Pimpin' Daniel Negreanu t-shirt today, so
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I had no thoughts that I was gonna get Daniel, but as soon as it was like, oh, maybe, because it was definitely gonna change.
I'm surprised you went with him. Okay. I thought you would have went. I thought you would have went Yuri.
All the tournaments.
I thought you would have went
Yeah.
Yuri.
Huh?
I thought you would have went Yuri this again.
Yeah.
Yuri's
Can't
a
tell you
beast.
my strategy.
All right.
He's
Let's go.
Mr. Consistent, though. He's
Yeah.
Mr. Consistent. How
He
don't
is.
you take him
Yeah.
one, though?
Yeah.
It's true.
We'll
see. All right, Hector, what you got?
I'm torn because there's so many good players right now, so you don't know who to pick first. But I got to go with who was number 2 last year, and then got the GIP Player of the Year. So Jeremy Osmus, that's my guy.
There you go.
He's number 1, drafted number 1.
Player of the Year, no?
Glad I get him.
Was he WSOP Player of the Year last year?
No, that was Seaver.
Was it Seaver? I always get them flip flopped. Can't go wrong with either one though. He's gonna be playing in a ton of tournaments, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right, Renee, what we got?
Well, it fell into my lap at the 3 hole, right? I am going to go with the number 2 guy at Scott Seaver.
Okay, there you go. There you go. I thought you were gonna go with Seaver, Hector.
Yeah,
I guess you can't go wrong with either one.
It's a toss up. It's hard, but I'm going off of the salary. Like a lot more money was spent on Osmus than Seaver, so I feel like they know something I don't.
Yeah.
Like they know him.
Yeah. No, I like it.
But
I like it.
yeah, I can see Scott getting 2.
Yeah. Hey, one per is what I'm hoping for, right?
Yeah. That's all it takes. All right. I am going to go with. I think there's one easy pick here, and I'm gonna go with Yuri. Yuri is a beast. He plays a little bit of everything. I'm not even gonna attempt to say his last name. Can't even go down that road. But Yuri
D.
Yeah, Yuri's a great player. I'll be honest. When Ice got him last year, I was a little like, okay, maybe he just had a really good year the year before, but he was good, and even then, he probably didn't have as good of a summer as he probably could have. So, we'll see what takes place. And going, since I got the first pick now in the second round, it's tough because I was hoping Seaver or Osmus would be there. I like Nick Schulman. I like the volume Deeb is going to bring.
Yeah,
but
had Showman last year. He got a bracelet.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like Jesse Lonis because he's killing it in Triton right now. I'm gonna go Jesse Lonis. I'm just gonna do it. He's doing so well in the Triton tournaments. I think they're gonna carry over to the WSOP, and I know he's gonna have a lot of volume, especially in the high rollers. So Jesse Lonis, round 2, pick number 1.
Okay.
And Renee, you're back on the clock.
Back on it. All right. So about a few hours ago, I did read up on Deep, and man, when you said his name, I said no, please don't. I am going to go with Sean Deep for my next pick.
Awesome.
Oh.
Deeb is like a Negreanu, man. He's gonna put so much work. That's a great pick.
So much. Right. They're always going.
At least that's what I was reading about him. The grind in him is there.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to see. And that's why Negreanu has to be, in my opinion, a number 1 pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if it wasn't Jesse, it was between Sean and someone else for me, who I have a feeling is not gonna make it to when it comes back. But great pick. All right, Hector.
Sean was my pick. Well, I'm going with the GOAT, Phil Ivey.
There it is.
Phil Ivey. He got one last year. He was playing, and if he's doing the same volume, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would make his way back. Yeah. Man. I was hoping he would make his way back.
Right when I went Jesse, all right, I'm just gonna go Jesse. It was Phil on the tip of my tongue because he burned me last year for not putting him on the Mount Rushmore, and I felt like I owed it to him. But it's all right. It's all right. Anyone can have a deep run. All right, Ice, back-to-back picks here. What are you thinking?
All right, I'm going with Bryce Jockey with my second round pick.
Nice. Bryce Jockey, PLO Master. I like it. And what else you got?
Can I pass mine?
Yeah, good to see you.
I got to go with Nick Schulman. The volume's there.
Yeah. Hey, to get Nick Schulman in the 3rd round?
Yeah.
That's great. That is great. He won a bracelet last year. He's going to have volume as well. All right. So Bryce Jockey and Nick Schulman back-to-back there for Ice. Hector, back on the clock.
Give me Josh Aria.
Josh Aria. Okay. Okay.
I want Josh Aria. I think he'll do well. He's a little bit lower in there, but you know he does the same things. He knows cards.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
I'll be back.
Plays a lot of mixed games too. So, and I think him and Negreanu either have a prop bet or they own the same fantasy team. So they have a lot of incentive to do as many tournaments as possible.
Nice. No, he is a nice little card player. I am gonna go with Benny Glazer.
Benny Glazer. All right. I like Benny. Did Hector go? Where'd Hector go? Oh, I think Hector turned off his camera. Okay. Give Hector a second here. I have my camera twice up on the screen right now, and I'm like, wait, someone's camera's missing, so that's why. Benny Glacier. All right, perfect. I'll go ahead and I will shoot forward. So someone that I think Ice, you had him last year, that didn't live up to what he should have been doing. But I think potential, bounce back potential here, I should say. Alex Livingston. I think.
Yeah.
I think
man.
he was one
he didn't live up last year.
No.
Hector had him last year.
I mean, we know what he could do.
Oh, you had him, Hector. Yeah, I think with what he's gonna be playing, great player. Down year last year, I think bounce back. So to get him, he was like a first or second round pick last year. So to get him at the end of 3 here, I think some value. And then with my back to back here, I'm gonna go with Ice's boy. I'm gonna go with Phil Hellmuth. We're going with Phil Hellmuth here. I know Ice is a big.
It's like right when I'm thinking about him.
Big old going Phil Hellmuth,
Yeah. Yeah, just because he's
Ice is literally on
the main, he's gonna play everything else though.
He was literally ranting about him before when we first got on the call, but not his skill. It's just him being annoying.
He has to defend the most bracelets, so he's gonna play a lot of value. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and consistency too, right?
Yeah.
He makes deep runs consistently, so yeah, it's a great pick.
Absolutely. All right, back to you, Renee.
All right, I am gonna go with Alex Foxen.
Ooh, the Foxens.
Boy,
he's been hot.
I like the Foxens. I like his great player of a wife in Kristen Foxen. She's awesome too. Great player, and he's coming from Triton, so he's gonna be nice and sharp. He was on my draft list here, Renee, so I won't forget that. Let's see, Hector, back on you.
It's a toss up. Since all my main people were taken. Let me get Adrian Mateos.
Nice.
Does well. I don't know what his schedule looks like, but he's good for some runs. He'll give me some points.
Yeah.
He's playing.
He's playing Triton right now too, so that was kind of my angle, was get some Triton guys, because they're literally not taking a break. They're going right into more poker. So, all right, Ice, picks 4 and 5 for you. What are we looking at?
I'm going with my boy from last year, Chance.
Hold on. Say it. It cut out. Say it again. Sorry.
I'm going with my boy from last year, Chance.
Chance Corneth?
Yep.
Oh my God. Why is this doing
I almost stole him from you. I almost picked him.
Let me do that. There we go. Now that's not going to do that with the camera anymore. All right. Maybe it will. Okay. I think I got to move this over here. That's why. All right. Ice is going with his 4th pick, Chance Corneth. All right. And who do you have for your 5th round?
Steven Chadwick.
Oh, Steven Chadwick. Okay.
Like, he's nice, but he doesn't play that much. Like, he'll play like the 25K. Because I remember I picked him like a while back, and I was disappointed because he only played like 4 events or something.
Yeah. I think his schedule will probably see an uptick this year because he is playing Triton right now too. I can't imagine he's going to take a break, but he's a great player. Hey, get Steven Chidwick in the 5th round. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, Hector. 5th round. What are you looking at?
Right, give me Kristen. Give me Kristen Foxen.
Ooh, there it is. It's my girl right there. It's sad.
Yeah.
Man, great pick. Great pick. All right, Renee, 5th round pick. What
Down
are you
the
thinking?
ladies event or something.
Yeah. No, for sure. Right. Let's go with Ben Yu.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's one of Ice's
Didn't you have
guys
him
right
last
there.
year, Ice?
That's my boy.
That's his
Yeah.
boy. Yeah, he's a great player.
I was gonna draft him this year too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. This is when it's kind of like, not that it's hit or miss, but you're kind of just, you have to get lucky here, I think, because some of these guys can all make deep runs or not. I'm gonna go with someone that did well last year. I'm a little afraid because he only went for $54 in the auction, and that tells me maybe his schedule's a little light and people know that, and that's why he didn't go for higher. But I'm gonna go with John Racner, who typically plays a ton of events, but I'm a little worried about it, that he may not be playing as many events as before. And then for my back-to-back, I'm going to go with yeah, I don't know if he'll last to me. I'm going to go with Nacho Barbero now, just in case he doesn't last to me. So he can't be using no solvers while he's playing in WSOP like he does at ACR. So Nacho Barbero. All right, Renee.
All right. Let's go with Dylan Smith.
Right, Dylan Smith. I was watching the live stream of the big draft earlier today, and Dylan Smith just kept rising and rising and rising. So you know something we don't, because that's a great pick.
A pot limit player, I believe.
Yeah.
So you're looking for him to make a little bit more noise on that level. But a nice little mixed game player, but a pot limit player, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, that'd be good, because a lot of times in mixed games they have smaller fields, so they can typically make deeper runs. So that's smart. All right, Hector.
Was Shulman actually picked up, or were we just talking about him?
No,
I got him.
Ice got Shulman.
Okay. All right. Then I'll take James Opes.
Ooh, the Aussie James Opes. I had James Opes the first year we did this. He's a great player. He didn't do too much last year, so he might bounce back. Actually, no, I think
he's high up there.
I think he had a good year last year.
91.
Yeah, he had a good year last year. When I drafted him, he had a bad year.
Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah. All right, Ice. Pick 6 and 7. What are we going with?
Gotta go with value. I'm going David ODB Baker.
Nice.
Yeah, I had him last year. He didn't have any deep runs, but he got some points. Just to clue you in, Renee, Ice mollywopped us last year.
He did.
I think we did 5 people. He had 5 or 6 bracelets on his team alone, where me and Xavier had 1 or 2 each.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
No, he absolutely.
So Ice is the defending champ.
That's the champ right there.
Love it.
That is
love
it.
it.
And pick number 7 for you, Ice. She got back to back.
I'm going Dario Samaritino.
Dario. Okay. I don't know if I'm spelling that right, but okay. All right, Hector.
Oh man. All right. Some of these people I don't know, so I'm just I'm more inclined to pick a name I know of than someone who's higher in the list. Like Lucky Chewy or something. Let's go with Popcorn. All right, we'll go with Eric Wasserman.
Oh man, that's who I had for my last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, Eric Wasserman. So the reason why I was gonna get him was because he never typically does Triton, and he's doing Triton this year. So I was like, you never see Eric Wasserman in Triton. So I was like, all right, he must have took something big down. His volume's gone up, so that's a good pick, I think. All right, Renee, with your 7th pick.
7th pick. Let's go with Felipe Ramos.
Nice. Felipe Ramos. Probably the best, if not one of the best Brazilian players on the planet. The guy's really good. Okay. So now I've got picks 7 and 8. So these will be my last 2 picks of the draft. Man. I'm scared because I want to go high roller, but I'm afraid he's going to just do just high rollers. So I'm a little afraid of that. I really wanted to do Jason Mercier, but I don't know how many tournaments he's going to play this year. That's the tough thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know him. He gets sucked into a high stakes game, and
he will literally tweet like, I'm on a 36
getting blinded out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm on a 36-hour
playing pineapple.
Yeah, he'll say, he's like, I'm on a 36-hour game at the Bellagio right now. I'm not gonna leave for a tournament. Like, what? I think that happened too, right? Didn't you have him, Hector?
Yeah.
You had him, right? A couple years ago.
I don't remember.
I thought you had him, and then you got like 0 points from him because he just didn't play any tournaments. Yeah. This guy was tweeting from the Bellagio.
It might have been the same year I picked whoever it was, the dude that lost all the weight.
Deeb? No, Deeb did the weight last year.
Deeb. It was somebody else. He lost a lot of weight, and I was like, he's gonna be focused, ready for the World Series. And then he was like, I'm not playing this year. Oh my God! Crap.
Well, that's when he had the beard going, and he looked like he was on Castaway. Yeah. Like, that was crazy. All right, I'm just gonna go with it. Great high limit player. I just don't know what his volume's gonna look like, but I'm gonna just do it. Chris Brewer. Let's do it. And I kind of want to do a fun one for the last one. I still can't believe Adrian Mateo's only went for $25 earlier today. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
he's such a great player to go so cheap.
Makes me worried a little bit, but you know.
No. Bryce Yockey's a great player. I like Brian Rast. Gonna go with someone that's gonna mix in some mixed games and won a bracelet as well. I'm gonna go with Robert Mizrachi.
Nice.
There we go. And that's me. We'll recap the teams here in a minute, but we still got a couple more picks. Renee, with your final pick.
Is Max Coleman still on the board?
Max Coleman. Yes, Max Coleman's still on the board.
Let's go with Max Coleman, please.
Right. Max Coleman. Nice pick. Hector, last pick. What are you thinking?
See, you got me because I was going to pick Mercier, and then you kind of talked me out of it. So now I was looking at Ben Lamb. Okay. And then just scrolling down, I saw Brad Owen's name, and I was like, "Oh, let's just throw in maybe he's gotten some runs. So he hasn't taken anything down, but this could be his first year."
Hey.
But I think for me be able to sleep at night, just know I picked the better player. It's going to be Mercier.
Okay. No, looking at that list, like I was trying to use it as a guide, but then I was like, don't get married to it because like Kerry Katz, Paul Volpe, like.
Yeah.
Anthony Zeno, like these are fantastic players and they're so cheap. So it's just like, I try not to look at it too much, but then I mainly looked at it for the price they went for.
Look, Joe Cattle went for $1.
Yeah. Like I just looked at it as like that tells me the volume because all these guys talk so much that will tell us if they're actually playing a lot or not.
Yeah, Lucky Chewy $1. Yeah, Brian Hastings $1. Yeah.
Let's see. So,
$1. Come on now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Ice with the final pick of the 2025 WSOP Snap Call Fantasy Draft. Who are you going with?
I'm going with a guy that was hot last year, won a bracelet last year, and then finished, I believe, second in another event. Chris Huntington.
Okay. Big guy, right? That's a real big guy. Huntington. I forgot to spell his name. Nice.
UNICHEN, yeah.
You know who we should have picked? Mike Mattisop.
Man.
Documentary out.
You
But he's
know,
gonna be trying to like, I need my WSOP Hall of Fame spot.
we were talking about it earlier. So Mattisau went for $3, and
Yeah.
Negreanu drafted him. And I was telling Ice, I'm like, he must be crashing out. So then I went to his Twitter, and he's like, "There's gonna be effing blood." Like he's so pissed he went for $3.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many good players. Brian Hastings,
Negrano
Huck
paid
Seeds.
$108 for himself.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
Which is
Negreanu,
cheap compared to.
nobody
Yeah,
loves
they have
Negreanu.
they have $200 to work with, and yeah, he used half of his money on himself. So
On
that I mean that
himself,
says
baby.
something.
I mean, yeah,
He's ready.
yeah. Osmus
Right.
went for 141. That's 70, almost 75% of someone's budget. So, but you know, Negreanu, no one loves Negreanu like Negreanu. You know that. So
Yeah.
he loves it. All right, so let me pull up. I'm gonna pull it up real quick on the screen here. Give you guys a little for the viewers a little overview of who we have on our team. There we go. So now I'll do this here. Just make it look a little easier. Recaps of the team: Ice, Daniel Negreanu, Bryce Yockey, Nick Schulman, Chance Corneth, Stephen Chidwick, David ODB Baker, Dario Sammartino, and Chris Hunnichin, I believe it's pronounced. Hector's coming through with Jeremy Osmus, Phil Ivey, Josh Aria, Adrian Mateos, Kristen Foxen, James Opes, Eric Wasserson, and Jason Mercier. My dog is scratching at the door.
I like it.
May, relax. Renee coming through with Scott Seaver, Sean Deeb, Benny Glazier, Alex Foxen, Ben Yu, Dylan Smith, Felipe Ramos, and Max Coleman.
I like that too.
I know, man. These are all so good. And then I finished up with Yuri, Jesse Lonis, Alex Livingston, Phil Helmuth, John Reisner, Nacho Barbero, Chris Brewer, and Robert Mishrahi. So that is an overview of the 25 WSOP Fantasy Draft that we did. Anybody looking back already thinking I should have went with someone else, or is really upset that someone got snagged right before him? Because these rosters are so deep with just 4 teams. It's tough to say.
Yeah,
I got an honorable mention.
Chance over popcorn.
I got an honorable mention. I wanted to go my last pick, Eric Seidel.
Yeah.
If he does good, I'm gonna, regret that pick.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel it's a big summer for him.
Eric Seidel, the Fountain of Youth. Hopefully he found the Fountain of Youth, man.
Yeah, right. That would have been a good pick.
Yeah, that's a legend right there. So, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like all the legends went for $1 because nobody talks to them, so they don't know if like how much they're gonna play.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like I
Sure.
had Helmuth on there just simply because it's Helmuth, he's consistent, but then
Yeah.
the whole I'm not gonna do the main event this year thing, yada yada. Like we know he's gonna play it, but I'm wondering if it's still gonna affect, him playing a little bit less, but there's only so many more people in the world that are as competitive than him.
Yeah.
And he knows that at any point Ivy can continue catching up to him from a bracelet standpoint. So,
Yeah.
I'd say that might be my one wild card. Outside of Chris Brewer, I'm afraid Chris Brewer's not going to do a ton of volume and just focus on high rollers, but we'll see.
Yeah. If I was in Helmuth's head, I would probably play, and then like if I want to like one bracelet, then I'd be like, yeah, I'm done for the year. This is what y'all get.
Just a mic drop. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see him doing that.
Look, a little torn, right? Phil Ivy's my guy. I think right now in this modern era, he's what I consider the Stu Unger, right? He wants any action, big action all the time. He's the only one that I might regret passing on when Hector picked him up right after me. I went with Sean Deeb.
Yeah.
Great pick, I think. But the one I might reconsider if he gets me is Ivy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, especially when it's picked right after you, right? You're like, of course.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
No lie, because I was just hoping he would sneak his way back through a little, maybe just a little bit through. But nope, next pick, he was off the board, so no hope.
Yeah. I mean,
And last year he played a decent amount of tournaments compared to what he usually playing. He won a bracelet, so imagine if he ups up his value.
Are we open to a trade?
I'll send you a first round pick in compensation.
Trades here.
The good thing about
my
Deeb,
buy-in and we'll trade picks, right?
Yeah, right. The good thing about Deeb though is like a lot of these guys they care about bracelets, but then there's guys that want bracelets and player of the year. And Deeb wants player of the year, so
that's
the
all he cares
volume is
about.
there. Like so he's going for it. And if you're player of the year,
Right.
you're gonna carry a fantasy team to a championship. So
Right. Hoping.
hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I
um,
wouldn't honestly. Ivy, he's gonna do good, but yeah, Ivy's not gonna put in the volume that Deeb is gonna put in.
yeah, yeah. But he might have some. I mean, he'll have some deep
Yeah,
runs though. You know that
I
at
mean, he
least.
might score more in points just because he'll, get some bracelets and get some final tables. But yeah, I think Deeb is a safer bet when it comes to points. Because also, same thing with like Mercier, he might just get pulled into a game and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna play that.
Yeah.
Right. And this will be a good. I mean, look, this is a good opportunity, right? I took a Deeb who's going to be a player who's going to be in the field often compared to Ivy,
Yeah,
who's probably not going to be in there as often,
yeah,
but because of his skill level,
yeah,
it's a little bit more superior. We're going to see how this balances out right here.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm hoping because we didn't pick him at all last year. I don't think any of us did, and then he
Yeah.
did phenomenal. So
Yeah.
Ivy went undrafted last year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's because leading up to last year, he'd show up for like the
Didn't play.
main and like that was it, or like 1 or 2 turns because he took such a hiatus, and that's why I kept him off my Mount Rushmore was because like you're not at the WSOP every year putting in a ton of tournaments, so he bit us in the butt last year, and but we know if like it's a guarantee that Ivy is going to play as many tournaments as he can, he's probably going round 1, pick 1 every time just because
Right.
he's that good. So,
yeah.
Right.
but there is some
But yeah,
uncertainty,
I mean,
like you
he got
said.
drafted for $95, so I assume that many people know he's gonna play.
Yeah, that's what me and Ice were talking about earlier. Is they know that he's going to put volume in this year. So,
He got that WPT gold bag, so he got some money to play with this year.
man,
Who picked him up? Team Blue Factory. I don't know who that is.
yeah, I'm not sure. By those team names, I don't know who runs what.
That person has Phil Ivy and Nacho,
Oh,
and
that's
that
the
was
one we were
most of
looking at
their
earlier, Ice. Yeah.
that's most of their money.
They're one of
And
the
someone
first
named
teams
John Kites. I
They're
don't
one
know
of
who
the
that
first
is.
teams to actually fill their team out, while like Negreanu was one of the last teams to fill his team out. Negreanu's team is, I mean, he probably knows something I don't, but I didn't think his team
Yeah,
looked that strong, to be honest.
yeah, agreed. I think just wants to carry his team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
But
can.
they Phil Ivy, and then they picked Lucky Chewy for $1.
Yeah. I like popcorn though. I like Eric Wasserson pick. He was gonna be my 7th pick over Brewer if you didn't go with him because he plays a lot of mixed games too. That's the thing. I don't know how much mixed games
Yeah,
Brewer's gonna jump into. Wasserson plays everything.
yeah, yeah. If they had Chainsaw, I might have picked him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
that wraps it up. I will send you guys the link to the spreadsheet once I get it put up on the drive so you guys can check the scoring out at all times. Um and then I think I disconnected.
I'm here.
Um
I'm here.
oh, okay. I saw the video go.
I'm here.
So yeah, and then I'll share with you guys a little scoring rubric that we got, or not rubric, but the scoring breakdown that we have, and then we'll keep everyone informed and updated throughout the series, and we're gonna be playing for some bragging rights. So yeah,
All
we'll
right,
go
we'll
from
see
there.
you in a couple
Love it.
weeks.
Love it.
And yes, Renee, yes, we'll see you
Yeah,
soon.
we'll see you in a couple weeks. I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
WSOP, I will be all over it at least Thursday all day, most day Friday. So for sure we'll connect, no question.
Awesome,
Yep.
awesome. For those of you guys that don't know, we'll be out. Ice is getting there the 6th of June. Me and Hector arrived the 9th. We'll be meeting Renee in person out there, checking out the Casino Collectors Convention. Maybe saying the name wrong, but checking that out. And then we're going to hang out on that Friday, a little bit of happy hour, and have a good time.
All right. If
Yeah,
one
no
of us
question,
gets
no
more
question.
points than anyone on our team, we get to replace ourselves with them. We get to sub there.
If
Nice, I like that. I like that.
So you're saying, Hector, if you get more points than Jason Mercier, you can substitute him out?
Exactly.
Okay. Hey, I'm cool with that. That'd be a cool little
I'm cool with that.
I get to
wrinkle.
sub in.
That'd be cool. That'd be
I'm
cool.
down
Hey,
with that. Yeah, for sure.
all it takes is one deep run, right? So
That's
That's
all.
it.
That's all it is.
perfect.
That's it.
All right, y'all. Well, appreciate you guys sticking around, checking out the fantasy draft. Renee, happy to have you on board. I hope this was fun. I hope throughout the summer, keeping track of the scores is fun. We'll update the viewers throughout the summer, and we'll go from there. Other than that, Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Peace and love, guys. Y'all be cool.
Yeah. Chance. Should have picked Chance. What the hell am I doing?